Here it goes.
Yes, sir. The boys are back in town.
Rap Sports News.
RSN podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Episode number 8, man. Here we go again.
Numero ocho.
We got a lot to talk about this week.
This week has been, it's like the whole world went crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know, the good thing is some new music came out.
Yes, sir. We had Chris Brown, Breezy, album number 10.
10. That just says a lot to have 10 albums. Like longevity wise, like 10 is a huge deal. Some people don't even get 3.
Some people don't get 2.
Some people don't get 2. Yeah, you're right. 10 is a big deal.
But I mean, Chris Brown of all people definitely deserves it. If you went back in time 10 years ago, told me he'd still be dropping music today, I would believe that.
Yeah, because he came out with like multiple hits. You know, some people come out and they have a good song every now and then. Mm-hmm. He had plenty of them.
Yeah, definitely. See, with this album, the thing that I liked, because I've listened to it over and over now, so I like his features.
I haven't heard of it. What's some of the features you like?
So he had a feature with Lil Wayne and Blue called "Possessive." That's my favorite song off the album. He has a song with LMA called "Sex Memories." Let's see, who else did he work with? He worked with Tory Lanez. That was kind of different because I know the industry has kind of like pushed back because of their case right now. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I guess he's just holding his brother down. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, his features on it really rocked.
Man, if y'all haven't heard the Chris Brown album, go check it out.
Go check it out.
It's called I Am Breezy, right?
It's just called Breezy.
Breezy, okay, Breezy. Yeah, y'all definitely check that out. Chris, I see him been making his rounds too. I saw him on a couple of different podcasts, on $1 Million Worth of Game, a few different things. So shout out to Chris. You know, it's always good to see even someone at his level. You know, some people they just put an album out and post it like, oh yeah, my album's out. No shade to Drake, but he's out here promoting it. You know what I'm saying? Like in a different manner. Like the way he go about it is he hop on different platforms and you know and have conversations and oh yeah, by the way, my album out. You know. Yeah.
See the thing that with his interviews that he did, he addressed the conversation on the internet that's going on right now where people are comparing him and Michael Jackson. Right, and saying is Mike better, right? And he said, of course he's not because he grew up watching him like the rest of us. But this is my take on that. I think that he is this generation's Michael.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh man,
I don't think he's better than Michael. I don't even know how to really compare him to that because I grew up listening to like all of his stuff. Like Michael Jackson was one of my parents' favorite artists, so yeah, I was listening to him very, very young.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I can't compare it.
It's see, growing up, for me, Michael Jackson was so big. Like his name, you're not even getting into music or performance. Just the name, right, was such a household name, so huge that it felt like it. Even to this day, for me, it doesn't even feel like anyone can compare it to his aura. You know what I'm saying? The weight that his name carried alone, and everything he did. I feel like for me, if we going based on just weight of the name or who the person is, for me, the closest person, and he doesn't dance or anything, just as an artist, for me is Jay-Z.
To Michael,
yeah,
cause,
and he's not even there. But I'm saying for me, the closest to that would be Jay-Z.
I think as an icon,
icon, overall like icon,
as an icon. But I'm talking where I'm trying to stay at is music based.
He got too many hits though.
Yeah,
he got too many hits. He got too many number ones.
Yeah, that's the thing. I definitely think Michael's better, of course.
Yeah,
of course, guys. I think Michael's better. But for today, I think Chris Brown is like
like of the
entity.
young people
Yeah.
today. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I can see that. Man, Beyonce. Beyonce. Who would you compare her to before we even get into her dropping new music? Who would you compare her to, as far as like all time great female? Well, it don't even have to be gender wise. Like, just in general, who would you compare her to from like the Michael Jackson era?
Maybe like Tina Turner or Diana Ross.
Mm, I like that. I'm not
Even
mad at that.
even Shaka Khan.
I'm not mad at that. Okay. Okay.
Because she's such a one. Beyonce is extremely talented. She's very good vocally,
Yeah.
and she just has a presence. She's like it's like hip hop royalty basically
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to Beyonce.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. Okay. Well, what's the what's B been up to, man?
She just dropped her new single, "Break My Soul."
Mm.
Yeah, so she sampled. I think this was a '90s track, a '90s dance track. Um, it was hearing the new dance vibe. I get it. For me, it's not for me because I'm not really into festivals
Mhm.
and I don't do any party drugs.
Mm.
So it's not my type of music. I do understand the use for it, but I'm not really into it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hope this doesn't if we ever blow up. I hope this doesn't disqualify us from the Rock Nation brunch.
Nah,
But this song wasn't for me.
yeah, I mean, it's being honest, right? Like I said last week, like when I was looking for something different than Drake, it wasn't what I was expecting, right? So same thing, nothing wrong with that. Some everyone can't hit, you know what I'm saying? Everyone can't be that one. And I agree with you on that too. I can't deny that. But shout out to B. I'm looking to see what you're gonna do next.
Yeah, she got an album dropping. Album dropping very soon. All right, moving on. Let's talk about little TJ. This week, little TJ got shot. He was waiting outside of I think a hotel,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody ran up on his car and tried to take his jewelry. And he said, "I ain't going for it." The guy shot him. I think they said like 4 or 5 times, and he hit one of his friends. And then one of his friends in the car shot at him, and then the guy jumps off and runs behind some bushes. Like bullets don't go through bushes.
Oh man. You know, in the movies when they be showing the option, like in a scary movie or whatever, they be like, take the gun, take the banana, or he like, yeah, hide behind this tree, go behind this building, or jump in the bush. We jump in the bush.
Jump in the bush. Yeah, so they ended up catching the guy because apparently the mulch that got on his clothes was from the same place where he was hiding, right? And he lost his shoes, so they found shoes at the scene.
Wow.
And his friend had took him to the hospital. He ain't have no shoes on. So now this guy's facing like 3 counts of attempted. So he's pretty much out of here.
All right, so who's the bigger? I'm not even gonna say that. I'm gonna say who's the bigger loser. Obviously, the guy who's going to jail, but in that situation, being little TJ, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you just give up the jury, or do you do what he did and be like, no, I ain't giving up my jury?
I mean, I think it's a pride thing because there's a lot of rappers that aren't going for stuff being taken from them. That just comes down to like you being a natural alpha.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're just not gonna let someone take something from you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go all out. For some people, they don't care about that. They love their life. They say, hey, you know what? Just take the jury and just go.
Mm-hmm.
That's the actual smart thing to do.
That's what, because I was thinking about Benny the Butcher when he got robbed in Houston, and he got shot. They did shoot him in the leg or whatever, but he gave up his jury and he still got shot. But would this be a different conversation if Lil TJ would have died? Then we would be like, he should have just gave up his jury.
Everyone would have been sad, but we don't know what's happening because he had to have surgery still, and I think he's still unconscious. So, like when it comes to bullets, people think of Tupac or like when one of the Migos got shot, like you just heal up and you're back on tour. but he got shot in his chest.
Yeah.
So that can be life changing. So we don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, definitely sending positive vibes to little TJ.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's it's one of them things like you said. It's everybody got their pride about it, but when it come down to it, if you know you're not holding nothing, then you can shoot back right away. For me, it's like you said, I catch you around the way. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, you got it,
Right.
But no, I know who you are. You know what I'm saying?
That's a smart thing to do. I mean, they got the guy on camera doing that. He was right in front of a Chipotle with an 8K camera. So this is this is another person that
genius.
They're gonna show this in the jury with like 11 old white people and one old black guy.
Yep.
And they're gonna keep playing that. His people are gonna come and be like, no, he's good, and he goes to church, and they're gonna keep playing that on loop.
Mm-hmm.
So the jury sees that.
Yeah, it's all unfortunate. It just shows you the state of mind where the people at. Speaking of gun violence, I know there's been a big topic about the gun switches out there.
Right. So yeah, switches, man. Some criminals are starting to get their hands on auto sears, which you put on the back of a Glock, it turns into an automatic.
Yeah, then you can put them on any weapon, right? Any gun. I know about the Glock switches. They got the Glock switches, but it's similar to the auto series. I think the same thing or similar, right? Because you can put them on anything, like any type of weapons.
I think it was for like semi-automatic.
Yeah.
I don't think it's for like single shooters, but from what it said, it hits that clip that if you have a semi-automatic, you shoot and it stops the next bullet from coming up, but it puts that little bar up.
Yep.
So they just all come out.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. It's and it's been things on the street, right? But now the fact that it's that common to everybody can get their hands on them, if you look in the right places, you know what I'm saying? It's like now it's a real big fight on the whole gun control thing now, because now you're talking about, okay, get the rifles off the street. Okay, cool. We just gonna turn this into we just gonna turn the turn the Glock to auto, and way you go.
It's Stendo with 32 rounds, and that's a lot of firepower.
Yeah, it's serious outside.
But we did have a win with Congress with gun control. So they're not banning semi-automatic rifles, but they are putting in red flag laws, meaning that if you go to get one, they're going to do extensive background checks. And also they're talking about hardening school security so they can keep kids safe.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely need to do that, right? Like with the background checks, they definitely need to have better background checks and mental health checks for sure. And then the school security, this should have been in place for every school, because I know like certain schools, certain areas like you go to in the more wealthier areas, they already got armed policemen off, school police, they call them, right? Mm-hmm. They're real police officers. They just designated for the school, for that specific school. But I feel like everybody should have that same luxury. And it's not even a luxury. It should just be standard. Yeah.
Like quality of life.
Peace of mind.
Right.
So I'm absolutely not mad at that. Finally a good decision happened.
Right. My thing, I was kind of scared because it's like a slippery slope of if you start saying, like in Canada, how they're saying, everybody gets a starter's pistol. Like, what else will you do behind banning, right? Mm-hmm. And the amendment does say that our right to carry shouldn't be infringed on. Mm-hmm. So I'm definitely in support of everybody who is responsible being able to have a firearm.
Yeah, we got to be able to protect ourselves, man, because gas is going up and police can't get to you in time. Like we were talking about last week. Some places, they like, hey, call a line.
And the criminals have switches now.
Right. Protect yourself, folks. All right. Well, speaking of protect yourself, I kind of then walked us down the lane of Roe versus Wade. With the protect yourself.
Yeah, so the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade after 50 years. They said they're going to leave it in the state's hands. So, depending on what state you live in, it might be banned from now on. Or if you live in, like, I think, like California or New York or places like that, they still have it.
Yeah, man. This is one of the many topics right now that's out here dividing the country, right? You got the people that's for it. You got the people that's against it. You got the protests happening. I saw that some people got beat up at the protest and violence happening at the protest about it. It's so many things just happening that's dividing the country, dividing the people. And then you enter guns into the mix. And I think, I don't know. I feel like it's a huge deal because even the companies are like there's some companies, a list of companies is paying for people to go ahead and get the procedures done in other states, right? I saw Dick's Sporting Goods was like they give $4,000 or something like that for you to travel to another state to get it done and different things. So it's completely divided down the line between the people who want it, people who don't want it, and even the companies supporting it.
Right. So with the companies, I believe they're doing that because it just costs them less rather than giving her maternity leave.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't going to put that. A lot of people aren't going to connect that.
I didn't think about that. Wow.
And hiring a new person, when it comes to companies, they're about their money. So they're going to do whatever it takes
best for
to
them.
keep their money low.
That makes sense. They don't want to pay for
Or their
paternity
losses
leave
low.
or
That's
this
what
or
I
that.
mean, to keep their losses low.
Yeah. When you put it that way, wow. And that makes you think what companies are doing it for real and what companies are doing it with ulterior motive that is just like, oh, okay, this is going to benefit us.
I don't trust none of the corporations.
Yeah.
I think they all kind of in cahoots because that what they're doing, they was already talking about that like months ago. So it's like they knew this was going to happen.
Mm-hmm. You knew it was coming down the pipeline. Okay. Well, dang. I mean, where do you see all of this? Like, where do you see this? What's happening next? Like,
so for wealthy women in the country, this doesn't change anything because they're going to have the money. You know, they go out, they meet some guy, they lose control, they go home. I really effed up. I got to fly to California. All right, so, and I'll say that's for women who make like 60 grand and above. Now for all the women below that, say they make less than like 40, they're not going to have the money really to travel outside the state like that or travel outside the country.
Yeah.
So it's going to affect poor women more. And they're not going to be able to go to the little underground criminal spots that some people will.
And now, man, you open up a whole nother can of worms. Okay, so now you got a whole nother, I don't want to call it an illegal business, but now would be a truly illegal business. There's a lot of people who are for that who going to be doing it on the low, taxing, of course, but doing it on the low. That's a whole nother. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have, you know how they have like drug rings and all this. Now it's gonna be abortion ring or procedure rings, I should say. Man, that's a whole nother can of worms right there.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot. There's a lot behind this, but I think the country wants, because we're falling into the birth rate's falling. So of course the people, if we know that, of course the people who run the country know that.
Yeah,
and also the women who get the most procedures are actually white women.
I didn't know that.
Right. So they're not able to replace the white people who die anymore. And that leads to like minorities in the future having more children and making different laws that change the country. Right now, Latin America is actually beating everybody.
Wow.
They're going to be the majority
Wow.
at this pace.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how things play out with this, just because also the many people that's upset about this, and then the people who are for it. It's gonna be interesting. Okay. Speaking of people who are for things and against things, politically wise, I heard that the cost of living around the country is driving people to move out the country at mass amounts, like huge rates. So I hear, like, for example, people in California are moving to Mexico.
Right.
A lot of them.
Right. Yeah, a lot of people are exiting California. The cost of living has gotten out of control. So they're just saying, hey, let me take my chances outside of here.
That's not a bad idea, man. If if you think about it, if with the pandemic, how it opened up the whole remote work, and how people are being able to work from wherever, it's like, shoot, it might be cheaper to do that.
But they're also pricing out the locals in Mexico because they're able to buy properties that people down there can't buy.
That's true. So you think it could be cause conflict there?
Yeah, down there.
Yeah, it's interesting. Let us know what y'all think. If you think that it's costing too much in inflation and everything else, and you want to move to another country, what country would you move to? Number one, and two, how long would you move there for? Is this a short term until things turn around here, or is this a long term? I'm out of here.
Right. See, if I was gonna leave, I don't know where I would go. I don't know where to go because I feel like this conflict's gonna follow anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But if I did leave, I wouldn't come back.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. And then it's things are happening all around the world too, right? So the way we're feeling things, or the way people are feeling things over here, with the people who make the laws and inflation, all these things, we got to also consider it possibly being the whole world, right? I'm sure there's some sweet spots that we don't know about, that some people don't know about, but it's like, damn, you get up and move, and then it turned crappy wherever the hell you move to. Like, damn. So, I don't know. Let us know, y'all.
Yes, sir.
All right. What we got? Sports.
Talking about Kevin Durant.
Oh, man. Trade rumors are going nuts right now. As soon as the Warriors win, they can't even get a full week of celebrations about Kyrie and KD talking about they leaving Brooklyn, man. What's going on with that?
Yeah, seemed like we're trying to figure out where Kevin Durant might land.
I think it all depends on where Kyrie end up going, because I feel like Brooklyn is done with him. I feel like they're like, oh, okay, you naming the top teams who you would go to if you don't resign with us. Well, bye. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they're like, oh, all right, we'll keep it moving. Wherever Kyrie end up going, the ripple effect of that should probably be KD leaving. But even still, it's like, I don't understand. Like, okay, Kyrie leave, why won't KD stay?
I think KD works best with a superstar. I think that's the best pattern for him. Like, I see him going to another team where it's already built up.
Yeah, he just want to come in and be the scorer.
Right.
Yeah, I can see that. And the thing is, it's like, do you think that's over, or you think there could be a dynamic duo or a big three that can overcome a good team? Because like the Warriors, right? They're a freaking amazing team. You got the same stars they've been had forever, but they're an amazing team. Versus you go and put, like, Brooklyn didn't work out with KD, Kyrie, and James Harden. How that didn't work out. You got three great players on paper. You're like, oh, this is about to be something special. And then nothing happens.
Right. So, like, teams that I'm thinking that KD would go to might be either with LeBron or with Luka in Dallas?
I think, man, okay.
Unless he wants to go back to Golden State,
I think
which I don't think he does.
this would be crazy. This would be crazy, but if Kyrie went back with LeBron, went to LA, and either KD stay in Brooklyn with Anthony Davis. The thing about Anthony Davis is he's good when he's on the court, but he's not reliable, man. He get hurt too much.
Right.
Or I don't think the Warriors would take him, but KD go back to the Warriors. So it'd be Bron and Kyrie against Steph and KD again.
Right.
I just feel like with the young talent they got, they probably have to give up way too much for him.
Right. But KD is one of the best in the league, so I could see them kind of wanting to spend on it.
Yeah. And man, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. But they had to give up a lot of their bench for him. That's the whole thing. They had to give up. I feel like they had to give up too much for him. I don't know. Tell us what y'all think, man. KD, where you think KD is gonna go? What's his name? Dame put up a post with KD in a Blazers jersey, and then he took it down a few hours later. I'm like, he throwing up hints. So I don't know. KD and Dame would be crazy too.
Yeah.
I can't name anybody else on that team. I can't name anybody else on that team, but KD and Dame would be nice.
Yeah.
All right.
We got a congratulations. Who we giving a
Yeah, Malika Andrews. Malika Andrews. Congrats to you being the first woman to host the NBA draft. And woman of color at that.
Yes.
Shout outs to you.
Congratulations.
But not shout out to Vince Carter.
Right.
Sorry to hear, man. I never met Vince Carter. He seemed like a nice guy. But somebody got him. Somebody broke into his place, stole $100,000.
Man.
He said his kids and his wife was hiding in the closet. That's terrible. I never want to hear about that happening to anybody. It's like, damn, Vince. Like, who? Like, they must have been watching him or something.
How they know that it was laying around?
I don't know. They must have went in there and see. I don't have all the details on where the money was, but it had to be somebody who knew something. You know what I'm saying? Like, a random dude off the street gonna be like, "Oh yeah, let me go rob Vince Carter," because I'm thinking he would have crazy security. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking he would have like his security game would be on point, but he caught him slipping, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we're glad that everyone's okay though.
Yeah, absolutely, Vince.
Glad that nobody got shot this time.
Yeah. And it's crazy, man. It's just back to the whole state of the world with all these gun violence and people just running up on people. Y'all gotta chill out. Man. We gotta, we wanna. Everybody trying to make it. Everybody wanna go home safe and be with their family and this and that. So it ain't even that serious. I feel like there's a lot of people out there that's going through some hard times, and they're just like, yo, I'm just going after it.
Right. Just aimlessly too at that.
Yeah, you gotta think about it, the consequences of that. Every risk, gotta take calculated risk. It's not worth throwing your life away.
Not at all. Not working 13 cents an hour.
Nah, son. Man, any last words?
Yeah, I actually do, man. So I was laying down the other day, man, and there was this thought I was having that I just couldn't get out of my mind. Who was out here drinking unsweetened tea?
Oh, man. Somebody out here drinking unsweetened tea?
They have it in all the stores. Like all the restaurants, they always have the unsweetened tea.
That is right. That is right.
I was thinking.
I never tried it.
I was thinking, who is out here drinking that?
I don't know. We should take a poll. If you drink unsweet tea,
leave the chat.
Leave the chat immediately. Yeah, I don't know. I never had unsweet tea in my life.
Right.
Oh, man.
I was playing, but anyway, guys, thank you for watching.
Yes.
I'm Canary Balance.
Slyce. Peace.